Hey guys, what's going on? I don't know if you could tell, but I cut my hair yesterday and this morning. I'm gonna fix up the ends a little bit. Like anything I see sticking up like this, I'm gonna just trim. I don't want to cut it all. See, the thing is, I don't get traditional haircuts because the environment of most barbershops I'm not really fond of, and really for the past since I was 20, I've just been doing it myself. Really, no, 18 is when I received my first razor. And then 2 years later, when I changed my diet up, I just rocked the look I have now. But I'm gonna clip this part off. But I feel better. Um, I do need caffeine to function, but I feel like I'm not a doctor, but I felt like the way my hair was, it was interfering with the blood flow in my brain. Maybe I don't know. But I did this video yesterday. I'm just waiting for my food to get done. Dylan Roof. I don't think about that case at all. But I was saying how a church is the only place that I feel is the safest that I would run to if demons had human abilities. The church is the only place I feel is could protect me from demons because they don't want to hear nothing about Jesus. They don't want to hear nothing about the Bible or anything of goodness. So I feel like the church is the safest place. But in spite of that, the church has been the the church has been under attack before. I mean, the temple has. I'm not Jewish, but the temple has. I really should have put this in. It's not important, but this is how I have my hair. I'm gonna just like I'm gonna fix it up a little bit later. It looks a little better. But the only attack on the church I can think of is Dylan Roof. Now, what the Klan did, it wasn't really religiously motivated. The thing was, the church is served as a a sense of like the church served more of a I'm trying to figure out the word because I just ate. I'm trying to eat a little bit more again. But yeah, the church served in a way like during the civil rights era. It was the everything. The church was the like not the homeless shelter, but it housed people. You know, it did more than just a place of it was more than a place of worship in the 1940s, 50s, and 60s. You know, like everything, any kind of social service you can think of that exists now, that's what the church was in my culture's community. But you know that the what the Klan did, like they didn't like burn churches, like they didn't like just burn churches every week. But what I'm referring to is the four girls that died in Alabama. I mean Birmingham, Alabama, 1963. I'm just thinking about that book, the Washington Code of Birmingham. But they when they did that church, sorry guys, I just had something to eat. But when they burnt that church, they weren't burning it for religious reasons. They burnt it because it was a threat because it served as like a beacon for the black community in a sense of this is where we go to, you know, worship and provide care and house the homeless and feed people and educate. It provided everything. But Dylan Roof, like same thing with him. I don't really classify that being like religiously like motivated. It was more like racially motivated because he said himself he wanted to start a race war. But I was saying in the video that we need to just use his. We need to use that event that took place. Use that as an example of what evil is, because when we use the word race, like when we try, it divides us more as people when we emphasize that it was racially motivated. Because all you're going to do, you're going to make each side angry, and you're just going to have each group hate each other more. So I look at it as race. And since we're speaking on the word evil, why I sorry guys, I'm gonna blow my nose. Sorry, that's a little bit better. I'm gonna wash my clothes later. But why I feel the media is so evil. Yeah, they promote evilness, but they are evil. Because this case I want to tell you about, I told you in my last video. In St. Louis, this is right after, like a few months after Dylan Roof shot up that church. You had a guy, black man. He burnt churches. Like he burnt like random churches in St. Louis. And then the media emphasized that this isn't far away from Ferguson, where Michael Brown was killed. And right after all that happened, they dropped the story because they found out the guy was black. And this is what I'm trying to say. They like to find stories that deal with race. This is why I don't watch the news. They want to find stories so they can incite anger and people that are already have a little hate in their heart. They want you to get mad and they want you to hate your fellow brother, whatever color they are. And it goes both ways. Like I said, Asian, Hispanic. The media wants you to hate your fellow brother. I'm telling you, this is what they want you to do. They want you to get mad, and they do it. And see, they'll do it on both sides. And I'm not ignoring crime statistics in America. I'm not ignoring racial stereotypes. I'm just telling you the reality. They want everybody to hate each other. Because why did they pick up the story? But as soon as they found out the guy who burnt the churches were black, they dropped the story. And I don't even know where like the update of that case. This is like over 10 years ago. But he didn't get the same treatment as Dylan Roof did. You know, I mean, I don't know why he burnt the churches. He burnt like 7, 8 churches. I don't know why he decided like these churches in particular. You know, like I think maybe he was inspired by Dylan Roof. Maybe he was trying to start a race war. You know, or maybe he just didn't have much going on in his life, and this is just what it was. I don't know.